shadows, ledger in my hand. Blockchain profit, they don't understand. Numbers like hieroglyphs, I wrote the scroll. They try to burn it, but I mind my soul. Winternomics, frostbitten and cold. Every coin flip, the story unfolds. Through my games, try to lock my name, but I coded the keys to the Hall of Fame. Kazonomics, they can't erase. Legacy carved in the data space. Try to block me, I broke the chain. Winners here, but I own the game. Attack from all sides, wolves in the mist. Turn to a dragon, scales glinting with risk. Algorithm assassin, trades cut deep. Why they slept on me, I never did sleep. They took my stash, tried to hack my mind, but the block stayed solid, can't rewind time. Made it happen, from ashes to gold. Phoenix on the ledger, story retold. Kazonomics, they can't erase. Legacy carved in the data space. Try to block me, I broke the chain. Winners here, but I own the game. Came from the shadows, ledger in my hand. Blockchain profit, they don't understand. Numbers like hieroglyphs, I wrote the scroll. They try to burn it, but I mind my soul. Winternomics, frostbitten and cold. Every coin flip, the story unfolds. Through my games, try to lock my name, but I coded the keys to the Hall of Fame. Kazonomics, they can't erase. Legacy carved in the data space. Try to block me, I broke the chain. Winners here, but I own the game. Attack from all sides, wolves in the mist. Turn to a dragon, scales glinting with risk. Algorithm assassin, trades cut deep. Why they slept on me, I never did sleep. They took my stash, tried to hack my mind, but the block stayed solid, can't rewind time. Made it happen, from ashes to gold. Phoenix on the ledger, story retold. Kazonomics, they can't erase. Legacy carved in the data space. Try to block me, I broke the chain. Winners here, but I own the game. Came from the shadows, ledger in my hand. Blockchain profit, they don't understand. Numbers like hieroglyphs, I wrote the scroll. They try to burn it, but I mind my soul. Winternomics, frostbitten and cold. Every coin flip, the story unfolds. Through my games, try to lock my name, but I coded the keys to the Hall of Fame. Kazonomics, they can't erase. Legacy carved in the data space. Try to block me, I broke the chain. Winners here, but I own the game. Attack from all sides, wolves in the mist. Turn to a dragon, scales glinting with risk. Algorithm assassin, trades cut deep. Why they slept on me, I never did sleep. They took my stash, tried to hack my mind, but the block stayed solid, can't rewind time. Made it happen, from ashes to gold. Phoenix on the ledger, story retold. Kazonomics, they can't erase. Legacy carved in the data space. Try to block me, I broke the chain. Winners here, but I own the game. Came from the shadows, ledger in my hand. Blockchain profit, they don't understand. Numbers like hieroglyphs, I wrote the scroll. They try to burn it, but I mind my soul. Winternomics, frostbitten and cold. Every coin flip, story unfolds. Took my gains, tried to lock my name, but I coded the keys to the Hall of Fame. Kazonomics, they can't erase. Legacy carved in the data space. Try to block me, I broke the chain. Winners here, but I own the game. Attack from all sides, wolves in the mist. Turn to a dragon, scales glinting with risk. Algorithm assassin, trades cut deep. Why they slept on me, I never did sleep. They took my stash, tried to hack my mind, but the block stayed solid, can't rewind time. Made it happen, from ashes to gold. Phoenix on the ledger, story retold. Kazonomics, they can't erase. Legacy carved in the data space. Try to block me, I broke the chain. Winners here, but I own the game. Came from the shadows, ledger in my hand. Blockchain profit, they don't understand. Numbers like hieroglyphs, I wrote the scroll. They try to burn it, but I mind my soul. Winternomics, frostbitten and cold. Every coin flip, story unfolds. Took my gains, tried to lock my name, but I coded the keys to the Hall of Fame. Kazonomics, they can't erase. Legacy carved in the data space. Try to block me, I broke the chain. Winners here, but I own the game. Attack from all sides, wolves in the mist. Turn to a dragon, scales glinting with risk. Algorithm assassin, trades cut deep. Why they slept on me, I never did sleep. They took my stash, tried to hack my mind, but the block stayed solid, can't rewind time. Made it happen, from ashes to gold. Phoenix on the ledger, story retold. Kazonomics, they can't erase. Legacy carved in the data space. Try to block me, I broke the chain. Winners here, but I own the game. Came from the shadows, ledger in my hand. Blockchain profit, they don't understand. Numbers like hieroglyphs, I wrote the scroll. They try to burn it, but I mind my soul. Winternomics, frostbitten and cold. Every coin flip, story unfolds. Took my gains, tried to lock my name, but I coded the keys to the Hall of Fame. Kazonomics, they can't erase. Legacy carved in the data space. Try to block me, I broke the chain. Winners here, but I own the game. Attack from all sides, wolves in the mist. Turn to a dragon, scales glinting with risk. Algorithm assassin, trades cut deep. Why they slept on me, I never did sleep. They took my stash, tried to hack my mind, but the block stayed solid, can't rewind time. Made it happen, from ashes to gold. Phoenix on the ledger, story retold. Kazonomics, they can't erase. Legacy carved in the data space. Try to block me, I broke the chain. Winners here, but I own the game. Came from the shadows, ledger in my hand. Blockchain profit, they don't understand. Numbers like hieroglyphs, I wrote the scroll. They try to burn it, but I mind my soul. Winternomics, frostbitten and cold. Every coin flip, the story unfolds. Took my game, tried to lock my name, but I coded the keys to the Hall of Fame. Kazonomics, they can't erase. Legacy carved in the data space. Try to block me, I broke the chain. Winners here, but I own the game. Attack from all sides, wolves in the mist. Turn to a dragon, scales glinting with risk. Algorithm assassin, trades cut deep. Why they slept on me, I never did sleep. They took my stash, tried to hack my mind, but the block stayed solid, can't rewind time. Made it happen, from ashes to gold. Phoenix on the ledger, story retold. Kazonomics, they can't erase. Legacy carved in the data space. Try to block me, I broke the chain. Winners here, but I own the game. Came from the shadows, ledger in my hand. Blockchain profit, they don't understand. Numbers like hieroglyphs, I wrote the scroll. They try to burn it, but I mind my soul. Winternomics, frostbitten and cold. Every coin flip, the story unfolds. Took my game, tried to lock my name, but I coded the keys to the Hall of Fame. Kazonomics, they can't erase. Legacy carved in the data space. Try to block me, I broke the chain. Winners here, but I own the game. Attack from all sides, wolves in the mist. Turn to a dragon, scales glinting with risk. Algorithm assassin, trades cut deep. Why they slept on me, I never did sleep. They took my stash, tried to hack my mind, but the block stayed solid, can't rewind time. Made it happen, from ashes to gold. Phoenix on the ledger, story retold. Kazonomics, they can't erase. Legacy carved in the data space. Try to block me, I broke the chain. Winners here, but I own the game. Came from the shadows, ledger in my hand. Blockchain profit, they don't understand. Numbers like hieroglyphs, I wrote the scroll. They try to burn it, but I mind my soul. Winternomics, frostbitten and cold. Every coin flip, the story unfolds. Took my game, tried to lock my name, but I coded the keys to the Hall of Fame. Kazonomics, they can't erase. Legacy carved in the data space. Try to block me, I broke the chain. Winners here, but I own the game. Attack from all sides, wolves in the mist. Turn to a dragon, scales glinting with risk. Algorithm assassin, trades cut deep. Why they slept on me, I never did sleep. They took my stash, tried to hack my mind, but the block stayed solid, can't rewind time. Made it happen, from ashes to gold. Phoenix on the ledger, story retold. Kazonomics, they can't erase. Legacy carved in the data space. Try to block me, I broke the chain. Winners here, but I own the game. ledger in my hand. Blockchain profit, they don't understand. Numbers like hieroglyphs, I wrote the scroll. They try to burn it, but I mind my soul. Winternomics, frostbitten and cold. Every coin flip, story unfolds. Took my game, tried to lock my name, but I coded the keys to the Hall of Fame. Kazonomics, they can't erase. Legacy carved in the data space. Try to block me, I broke the chain. Winners here, but I own the game. Attack from all sides, wolves in the mist. Turn to a dragon, scales glinting with risk. Algorithm assassin, trades cut deep. Why they slept on me, I never did sleep. They took my stash, tried to hack my mind, but the block stayed solid, can't rewind time. Made it happen, from ashes to gold. Phoenix on the ledger, story retold. Kazonomics, they can't erase. Legacy carved in the data space. Try to block me, I broke the chain. Winners here, but I own the game. Came from the shadows, ledger in my hand. Blockchain profit, they don't understand. Numbers like hieroglyphs, I wrote the scroll. They try to burn it, but I mind my soul. Winternomics, frostbitten and cold. Every coin flip, story unfolds. Took my game, tried to lock my name, but I coded the keys to the Hall of Fame. Kazonomics, they can't erase. Legacy carved in the data space. Try to block me, I broke the chain. Winners here, but I own the game. Attack from all sides, wolves in the mist. Turn to a dragon, scales glinting with risk. Algorithm assassin, trades cut deep. Why they slept on me, I never did sleep. They took my stash, tried to hack my mind, but the block stayed solid, can't rewind time. Made it happen, from ashes to gold. Phoenix on the ledger, story retold. Kazonomics, they can't erase. Legacy carved in the data space. Try to block me, I broke the chain. Winners here, but I own the game. Came from the shadows, ledger in my hand. Blockchain profit, they don't understand. Numbers like hieroglyphs, I wrote the scroll. They try to burn it, but I mind my soul. Winternomics, frostbitten and cold. Every coin flip, story unfolds. Took my game, tried to lock my name, but I coded the keys to the Hall of Fame. Kazonomics, they can't erase. Legacy carved in the data space. Try to block me, I broke the chain. Winners here, but I own the game. Attack from all sides, wolves in the mist. Turn to a dragon, scales glinting with risk. Algorithm assassin, trades cut deep. Why they slept on me, I never did sleep. They took my stash, tried to hack my mind, but the block stayed solid, can't rewind time. Made it happen, from ashes to gold. Phoenix on the ledger, story retold. Kazonomics, they can't erase. Legacy carved in the data space. Try to block me, I broke the chain. Winners here, but I own the game. Came from the shadows, ledger in my hand. Blockchain profit, they don't understand. Numbers like hieroglyphs, I wrote the scroll. They try to burn it, but I mind my soul. Winternomics, frostbitten and cold. Every coin flip, the story unfolds. Took my game, tried to lock my name, but I coded the keys to the Hall of Fame. Kazonomics, they can't erase. Legacy carved in the data space. Try to block me, I broke the chain. Winners here, but I own the game. Attack from all sides, wolves in the mist. Turn to a dragon, scales glinting with risk. Algorithm assassin, trades cut deep. Why they slept on me, I never did sleep. They took my stash, tried to hack my mind, but the block stayed solid, can't rewind time. Made it happen, from ashes to gold. Phoenix on the ledger, story retold. Kazonomics, they can't erase. Legacy carved in the data space. Try to block me, I broke the chain. Winners here, but I own the game. Came from the shadows, ledger in my hand. Blockchain profit, they don't understand. Numbers like hieroglyphs, I wrote the scroll. They try to burn it, but I mind my soul. Winternomics, frostbitten and cold. Every coin flip, the story unfolds. Took my game, tried to lock my name, but I coded the keys to the Hall of Fame. Kazonomics, they can't erase. Legacy carved in the data space. Try to block me, I broke the chain. Winners here, but I own the game. Attack from all sides, wolves in the mist. Turn to a dragon, scales glinting with risk. Algorithm assassin, trades cut deep. Why they slept on me, I never did sleep. They took my stash, tried to hack my mind, but the block stayed solid, can't rewind time. Made it happen, from ashes to gold. Phoenix on the ledger, story retold. Kazonomics, they can't erase. Legacy carved in the data space. Try to block me, I broke the chain. Winners here, but I own the game.
Y'all ready? What it do, what it is. Back in the biz. Friday the 13th, motherfuckers. Y'all feeling lucky today? I don't know how I keep getting lucky enough to get this fucking room with a view, but I got it again. My co-host didn't make it, but that's what you should expect for Friday the 13th. So solo dolo, motherfuckers. But we never do a show that's not without timing. And if you guys remember, Friday the 13th has been a hell of a day in the 2020s, especially going back to the COVID era. This was a crazy week back then. It's a crazy week right now. A lot of synchronicities between both of these. The world was on fire in 2020 on this exact date. The climax of the VIX at 80 was on March 16th. We actually had a show on March 17th where we timed the actual final correction off of 80 VIX, which is an unbelievable outlier event, into what became the bottom of COVID. Right now, oil, Iran, what Trump is doing, unpredictable shit he's doing. We're in a crazy time period 6 years after COVID. And it's hard to believe this is literally 6 years after the bottom of COVID. That's where we are. We are 6 years, almost 3 days off to the day of the biggest catastrophe since the Spanish flu. Anyways, That's a hell of an opener. How you motherfuckers doing? I know it's late, but we know when we gotta get these shows out, so here we are. Couple of reposados in, feeling kind of spicy. I hope you motherfuckers are ready, cause about that time. I had to get a new hoodie. What do you guys think? You can't see it, but this bitch is like rhinestoned up as fuck. It's just hot. Hoping it'd be glitz and glam on the fucking thing, but my camera shot's kind of crazy, so it is what it is. But it's still winter as fuck. I fuck with a new hoodie too, nigga. That's why I got it. I gotta keep it fresh, you know. So, you hope you motherfuckers been navigating this shit, you know, with what's in the eco pretty well. It's definitely one of the crazier environments that we've seen in the last couple of years. Bottom of 2022 was one kind of like level of crazy, but you know, the volatility wasn't so bad. COVID was fucking ridiculous. Let me see if I can get this camera needs to come down a little bit. Not too much. Alright. I think that's about right. So, had the intel on point. I think you guys see some of the statistics that we've got on AI about some of the stuff we've done. And we definitely need to talk about that because I can tell by the community reaction, y'all don't really fully fathom what's going on in these statistics. But it ain't what you think. Let me get this up. So we ran through a bunch of these events that we've timed over the years. Understand like 60 VIX, 80 VIX in COVID. These are outlier events. This is like the definition of tail risk. Now, for many of you that have been around for like a decade or so, that even sounds bad to say, right? Like a fucking decade. Shit's like, time span is really stretched the fuck out here. But some of the things that we've timed over the years are really, if you put them together, this is something Gerber and I talked about back in 2018. You know, up until that point, if you looked at the outlier events, not just like random market calls, but the outlier, the things that like market margin call the world. You look at those things in series and look at like, you know, what it would take to have all of those. It's really statistically anomaly on anomaly, what's really happened. I timed the banking crisis to the day low. I'll get these up. Let me get these things up right now. So put these things through the AI, and I have these all timestamps. I'm kind of hammered right now, so I'm not like the most coherent motherfucker. But never fear, I never fucking miss a beat. I don't give a fuck what the fucking intoxicant I'm on. When it comes to markets, I don't fuck around. But my speech might not be the greatest right now because I've been drinking fucking reposado for like 6 hours, so I'm pretty smacked. But it's gonna be fun. Alright, let me see. 2009, 2008. Hold on, wait for it. 2008. 2000 January, here it is. Alright, get a couple web pages up real quick before I fucking bore you to death trying to talk this out when I can't think. I can think enough. Here it is. Oof. I'm not gonna lie though, I'm pretty fucked up. The fucking alcohol got time to set in. I know the pre-roll went 23 minutes. I didn't know that was 20 minutes, man. I was sitting over here like, I thought it was like 8, but time dilation is a thing. 11/11 seems lucky. Friday 13th, March 13th, lucky 13. No such thing as coincidences, bitches. Where are we at? Where are you guys at? Oh, that's right. I forget how my Zoom looks. I'm all kind of wrecked. Yeah, it's gonna be a rough one, but don't worry. There's gonna be some alpha in here. Just you know, deal with the rough edges. This is live production. It's 11 o'clock on a Friday. Niggas had a good week. We were trying to chill too. Everybody's fucking trying to get the most out of it. But so peep this shit out. Where's the fucking whole camera situation? I don't know where the fuck OBS is. That's definitely not it. So many of you seen this is on the blog back in the days. This graphic, this graph and timeline that's on it, I don't really think anyone across the years reading the blog really ever looked at all the pieces. We talk about the chimpanzee and the human and the short RAM that we have and the large RAM that chimps have, the inability for humans to process much information at once. This is an interesting thing. You really look at this, right? This is both the same chart. This is a quote from our blog back in 2008. This is the timing of the banking crisis to the first week it broke down from the top of 2008. The market topped in July 2011, and it sat there and churned across a year, and then it broke down into the front end of for half a year and churned and broke down to 2008 when we're coming down. At this point, the bulk of the world didn't know we're in a banking crisis. I was working with I was a correspondent lender. We sold loans in the secondary market. We originated in the primary markets. So when the liquidity of the secondary market blew up, which may be something like that's happening right now in Canada, which could be a fucking a sign of what's happening in America also, because there's a lot of correlation between financial systems, especially when you're dealing on the same continental plate. There was a liquidity crisis, right? You couldn't fucking sell loans, and at the moment you couldn't sell loans, basically the market was fucking gonna seize up. So I was in a position to know about that before most people because I was directly in that business. I was in a correspondent position. We'd originate loans and we'd sell them off to people that want to service them. And when that market fucking froze, technically the entire fucking housing market died on arrival. So we had a whole website called Mortgage Implode that a lot of brokers that I even knew that helped start that were tracking the blowing up lenders. I wonder if that site still exists. Mortgage Implode. Let's see. Mortgage Implode. Let's see if it's still around. Yeah, it should be there. So this website started actually by a group of fucking lenders, some of which I knew, that was tracking all the banks that were blowing up when we couldn't sell loans. It did look as crazy back in the times, but it was just a list of the first 30 banks that exploded that was telling us that we're in shit street when Alt-A and subprime loans couldn't function anymore. This website was a group just tracking to see hey, is your lender on here? Because if it is, you can't fucking originate anything for that guy because you can't fucking close it. So it was a tracking for the beginnings of what ultimately became fucking financial Armageddon. When this started happening, the world had no idea it was going to be as serious as it was, but you guys know I'm pretty good at making good inferences out of the data. And so I wrote this blog post, Economic Crisis. Actually, the whole blog was named Economic Crisis. And when I made this, I emailed it to my friends, family members, colleagues, and they're like, what economic crisis? Even back then, 18 years ago, I'm like, motherfucker, tell me you don't know there's a fucking ticking time bomb right now. It's a sentiment thing, right? Nobody realized how bad what was coming was. This is January 15th, 2008 that I wrote this post. I'm still sitting on the blog today, right? This is January 15th. It's right here. Most important, let's see. Yeah, this is the post for it. Countrywide State Bank of America. Now we consolidate. We're in the consolidation phase. Nobody in January 2008 realizes this is actually happening, but the entire fucking secondary market is fucking completely imploding on itself in January. Nobody realizes how bad this is until the tail end of 2008 when Buffett's trying to figure out where the bottom is in September. But in January, the beginning of the year, no one knows Armageddon is hitting. So this is the banking crisis timed exactly to the week it begins to fucking originate into the crash. This is where Washington Mutual collapses right here. So Countrywide, saved by Bank of America, now the consolidation phase is underway, right? That's that blog post. It's still up there to this date, right? Countrywide, saved Bank of America, blah, 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 blah. And there's still a number of ailing companies out there that need to close and help this problem wash out. A lender that comes to mind is the next biggest problem is Washington Mutual. And probably you guys are probably too young to know about that company, but Washington Mutual was, on bad assets, was acquired by what is now Chase, and they were the biggest thrift in the mortgage market at that time. When they exploded, that was really like the tell to the world that, hey, there's a real fucking problem. But it took a while before people would realize that was happening. So we outlined it because we sold paper to Washington Mutual in the subprime market. And the second they couldn't close one of my loans, I wrote this blog post. I'm like, okay, this is not good. Like, I got jammed with them with a couple loans I had in process, and I couldn't close it. I already had a series of banks blow up in my face. Own It Mortgage blew up in my face. I'm like, at this point, I'm like, if this motherfucker can't close and they're illiquid, Armageddon is fucking next. So I wrote this blog post on a website I literally called Economic Crisis, Economic Insights Needed in or Turbulent Times. So I've been trying to warn people about Armageddon for a lot longer than you guys think. This is 18 fucking years ago, January. And so this is the actual correct timing for the banking crisis. Not what fucking, Cassandra cocksucker fucking Michael Burry did, where he's like guessing in 2006. Fuck him and fuck his timing that he ever got a movie out of that. He's a fucking cocksucker. This is the right timing. This is when Armageddon literally breaks down. This is the first breakdown of the consolidation at the top of the market. This is actually the exact point of origin of the banking crisis. And if you guys understand, we have a thing for being like exactly the point of origin of most moves. So I named Washington Mutual, and then Washington Mutual fully fucking folded in on itself by about, what is it here? I can't see shit. Does that say September? I think it's September. But September is when Washington Mutual actually blew the fuck up. So it took about 9 more months for Washington Mutual to explode. And once he explodes, the entire fucking mortgage banking sector fucking explodes with him. He is the biggest thrift that could possibly explode at this time. He is, what he says, the largest failure in the U.S. banking history at this moment. So we forecasted the exact motherfucker because, well, it's not like a forecast. We knew for sure he was illiquid right in January. It just took till September before the world found out about it. Once he was illiquid, everything that was like him exploded. You got down to the bottom of the market. This is the day low of March 6th, 2009. And we wrote a post here at 7:02 in the morning. I was working with a dude that is actually my business partner at the time in mortgages, and he's like, if you don't put this shit down on somewhere that somebody can look back at it, nobody's going to believe that you figured this out. So he actually urged me to write this. We're inside the mortgage office like at 6 o'clock in the morning, and he's like telling me to write this down. I was like, okay, I'll just put it on the stupid blog I have, and I wrote this also in sequence, which is a valuation call because the market was fully devastated by March. The VIX had hit like some apocalyptic shit. Let's find the VIX over here. That's a lot of craziness. Let's just turn that off real quick. We'll figure that out later. Sorry. There's all kinds of shit going on there. Let's get the VIX. VIX, turn off all the crap I have on it, and go back in time. So the banking crisis is here, right? The VIX hits like a fucking like almost 100. And this is Armageddon, but the VIX hits this when the fucking full explosion happens, when Washington Mutual blows up, that's where the VIX actually goes fucking nuclear. But the bottom of the market isn't with the VIX, like you've seen so many times since. In your time, when I've called the VIX, it has been exactly, the climax of the VIX has been the bottom of the market, but that wasn't the case in the banking crisis. The VIX sustained north of like fucking like 60 for days, like I think for a couple of weeks. You have to think how crazy this is and what you guys have seen in the VIX spike since. The VIX has gone spiked and it recoils off of these really high extremes, in COVID, in the carry trade liquidation. But in the banking crisis, the VIX sat comfortably north of the 50s for like a few months. This is nothing like what you've experienced in the carry trade liquidation or even this war. Right? Just picture what you've seen with the VIX being 30 to 40 since COVID. And then picture this shit staying like that for fucking like a quarter of a fucking year. It is literally the apocalypse is going on financially. Like nothing like this has been seen since Black Monday. We don't have the ability to show Black Monday because Black Monday is an extrapolation of something called a VXO. I can show you that here. I did that over on this chart. Let's see if you can get it here. VIX, the VIX McGinn chart that KJ and I talked about last show. So this is to get an idea. This is Black Monday. The VIX, hit something like the order of like 157 or something insane like that. And then the banking crisis came along in 2009, and that's the second highest VIX ever reading of all time. So Black Monday is the fucking worst. Banking crisis is the next. But in the banking crisis, the sustained high volatility environment destroyed all assets, destroyed all markets, and stayed like that for a quarter of a year. The exact bottom of the VIX is March 6th. Sorry, not the exact bottom of the market is a quarter of a year outside of the VIX's collapse in March 6th of 2009. By the point that rolls around, everybody's devastated, including fucking even Buffett, right? Buffett actually tried to make a call right here in September that the market would bottom because, like most people who understand what the VIX represents, that is the key tracking point for guys like Druckenmiller, Buffett. That was what they tried to track the bottom of the market with. So if you were watching the VIX, you would have tried to call the bottom of the market when the VIX became a statistical extreme in September to October. Buffett tried that and he was off by 40%. The market leveled his fucking call down to here. We were able to actually price the VIX, price the stock market in terms of other assets, and write this blog post on March 6, 2009 at 7:04 in the morning, per my business partner telling me to put it somewhere, where it would be trackable, which I'm glad I did 18 years later. And I wrote this statement: in my eyes, the market is now far cheaper than anybody out there actually realizes. Market values that are denominated in fiat currency must be valued based on the supply of fiat currency in all intertwined economies and benchmark the value of a hard asset to truly grasp the price of the market, something like gold, right? To give you a benchmark of what things are really worth. So this is where we figure out the market is actually cheap. And this is way past where Buffett and everyone thinks the market should have stopped. At this point, it looks like the market, like it literally is like the end of the world to everybody. This is the darkest before dawn moment. So unlike the other VIX calls that we've made across the years, we timed the actual low of risk assets here with a massive differential to the 100 plus VIX, or the actually 97 VIX that we had, the second highest reading in fucking the history of the VIX. So we have the day low to the candle of the crash of the century since the fucking Great Depression, and we have the onset right here of the banking crisis also to the exact candle that the onset begins. So we ran a bunch of this stuff through Claude and through Gemini, and it came up with this, right? We have a Six Sigma event and oil crisis right now, which is Iran situation that nobody saw coming. We have it to the day when it begins, the forecast a couple years ahead of it even happening in 2019. We have the banking crisis. We have the dead low of the banking crisis. We have the carry trade liquidation. We have, the COVID lows. You guys don't realize that. Let's see if we can find out all that stuff we put out there. All these are timestamps or video stamped in history. So we asked this robot, or whatever these things are, LLMs, whatever the fuck you call this shit. It's in here somewhere. Right? So this is actually the forecast for the actual situation you guys are dealing with today with Iran. This was based on the BNB fractal we came up with in 2019. And we put this out there, in the time period, obviously our Twitter was banned. And we put this out there. Shenanigans with Russia and Iran sure remind us of the late 1970s and 80s, doesn't it? Which is an oil crisis and a stagflation event in the world. We're having a fractal of that, and we base this on basically something that was going on way past anybody's memory. What was going on with BNB and a fractal version of an embargo that CZ created. We created a level based on that embargo here, which now we have, right? An embargo is a supply fucking constriction, which you're now having with the Straits of Hormuz. We have an embargo on the supply of oil. So we have exactly the supply constraints in an oil crisis type situation tied to Iran forecasted in July 8th of 2019. An insane fucking forward projection, which we then timed the exact fucking moment of opportunity in the marketplace when it comes around. So just to show you all these moving parts, that's just a picture I don't need to see right there. Jesus Christ. Fuck is that? Oil. So we use the fractal of Ukraine. I can't remember shit right now. I'm a little fucked up. February. It's January. It's somewhere in here. God damn it. Where is this? November. That happened fast. Oh, I could be smarter than this and just search stuff. I'm retarded. This guy. This guy was actually posted here. Well, it says it. January 5th. So Maduro gets snatched out of fucking Venezuela on the second day after, the day after New Year's. And we used what happened with him as a fractals on fractals, right? This is kind of crazy. You got to pay attention. There's a lot going on here. But we had timed the actual pump in December of 2021 with Putin invading Ukraine, and we had that exactly pegged to the exact day. So we had the same fractal situation. A world leader like Putin and Trump are kind of like fractally similar in the fundamental positions they occupy, and their actions created a supply shock, immediately to the marketplace. So we used Trump, Venezuela as a fractal of Putin and Ukraine to time basically the beginnings of the oil inception. At this point, oil is $58 a barrel. He tops up 119 in this crazy spike. This is the beginning of the oil crisis right here, and we wrote it up exactly as such, right? As discussed in Voice, perhaps last week, Trump, on the verge of invading Venezuela, carried a fractal similarity to Putin, burgeoning invasion of Ukraine. Now that said catalyst has taken place, a sector of obvious interest is oil. And with this, those likely to benefit from what is to come next, now that the U.S. has taken control of the $17 trillion reserves in their country. So we had not only forecasted I don't know where the hell it is. It's somewhere in here. Where'd that go? All right, with this situation, we've been waiting for this and waiting for the structure to take place and waiting for fundamentals to line itself up. The fractal embargo that's on this chart is the situation you have now in Iran. So anyways, that was a whole long-winded way to say, like, we have the banking crisis to the beginning, the candle fucking low of it, the oil crisis forecasted, and the exact origination point of the situation that blew up in everybody's faces right now. And we ran it through fucking Claude and Gemini and a bunch of shit. And it told us fucking the most insane thing you'll ever see in your life. Now, for any of my people who are my students, they know that we've talked about this a lot differently than what people are going to think. It's not that the statistics that you're looking at here are like so mind-blowing as that they are representative of something else, right? This thing says in order to have like oil, which is a 6 sigma event, 6 sigma being fucking like the definition of tail risk, to have that event, the banking crisis origination, the banking crisis low, the carry trade liquidation, which is a 60 VIX event, itself a 5 to 6 sigma event. And if you guys don't remember what sigma is, right? Sigma is just a fancy way of talking about fucking like standard deviation. I know I put a chart up here somewhere. Where the fuck is he? There's a whole bunch of stuff for a drunk motherfucker, right? You're probably like, hey, this motherfucker's pretty coherent for being drunk. Yeah, I am. Right, when you guys think of like outlier events, generally we think about standard deviation, right? One standard deviation captures about 68.25% of all available information. The median, right? You're idiots, or the median population. This is in any normal distribution of data. This is where the non-valuable information is, within one standard deviation. Once you get to 2 standard deviations, it captures 95% of information, and once you get to 3 standard deviations, it captures 99.7% of information. What most people consider the outlier event, the black swan, is going to be 3 standard deviations, right? It's a thing that 0.3% of the data fucking reflects. This is where nobody is. When you get to 6 sigma, the 0.3 that's left between 0.3 and 100 is what divides between 3 and fucking as far out as the sigmas can go. You never hit 100%. 100%. It can keep going 11, 12, and you're into decimal places like until you reach what looks like rule of the atom, right? 99.999% of the information, but still a data point that represents overall tail risk to the system. What we captured in oil is a 6 sigma event. It is the definition of tail risk to the entire fucking planet. It is basically the mathematical definition of the jinx. You know how we say that statement, the jinx is real? This is the statistics behind what that actually represents. It's not just a funny fucking phrase, but it is the fact that the jinx is a statistical outlier event within a body of data. What we've learned to actually capture is that. The thing that's basically what hedge funds tried to hedge against, which is the eventuality of the fucking fly in the ointment that blows everybody up, whether it be the banking crisis, COVID, or carry trade liquidations. The thing that nobody can account for that shows up and catches everybody in the wrong side of the equation is what we'd all consider like an unlucky event or something that nobody could time. We've actually learned to time that very exact point as a structural certainty in a data set. This right now is insane, right? To capture one of these is one thing, but the banking crisis represents a fucking like 7 to 8 sigma event. Past this, oil is a 6 sigma event. COVID's 80 VIX is like a fucking like 8 sigma event. They are beyond ridiculous. There's a thing that captured the whole planet on the wrong side. It liquidates the earth when those things happen. We've timed the banking crisis, COVID, carry trade liquidation, and now oil. What is the statistical chance that one human would actually capture multiple multi-sigma events? So we ran that through a couple of your AIs. So if you want to argue with me now, I welcome you to it, bitches, because this isn't me saying it, right? We asked it, what are the chances that one person could capture multiple sigma events like this? And an 8.66 sigma event is so rare, this is what it's telling you. A series of 1 sigma event and three sigmas. So that's just fucking normal tail risk, like fucking like, you know, within 3 standard deviations. We've got this past that. We've got multiple past 3 sigma events, but we just put it to this point. To capture like a 6 and 3 sigma events, just 4 of them, would put you, as an analogy goes, if you flipped a coin once every second since the beginning of the universe, roughly 13.8 billion years, you would not expect to see an 8.6 sigma heads or tails outcome even once in the history of an entire fucking universe. At first glance, you'd be like, wow, that sounds really unbelievable. You're really accurate. No. That's not what this is. This isn't actually out timing everybody to some statistically anomalous point. That at first, ego would tell you that's what's happening. What we're actually showing you is probably the best proof ever that we live in a simulation that looks as close to a chaotic reality as possible, but still has hard and fast rules that we've managed to exploit and find that actual tail risk point in multiple events that probably one person could get, but not the same person. You understand how crazy what I'm showing you is? I would love to take credit as being like so accurate that I've outclassed every analyst to the point that I have like an anomalous position in multiple universes, but you escape the actual statistical fucking like reality of things and you approach a universal structural law, which is what I told you guys a decade ago. This is universal structure. Whatever this universe is, it has hard and fast mathematical principles that tail risk is actually a structural point in the system that can be located. So the thing that catches everybody called the jinx, we've actually managed to triangulate that point for 18 fucking years from every major crisis that's ever happened. That's a lot different when you realize it. It's not just accuracy. It's accuracy based on universal law, the rules of the program. This is probably the greatest, the greatest proof that we are living in something that looks like a virtual simulation of what reality is, but it's beholden to the rules of the program, so much so that we can exploit it. You guys understand what I'm saying? There's a whole lot of words. I'm still drunk too. That's not actually half bad for a guy that's fucking liquored up for like 5 and 6 hours. What do you guys think? So you get all that? It's a lot crazier than people realize. So it's not just accuracy. It is the exploitation of a principle of the system that allows us to land on that data point, which is the proof of the what is going on here. I'm like, okay, yeah, that's the alcohol part. Let's go back to normal. It is the proof that there is a rule structure underlying whatever the fuck we're living in that takes what most people think is a chaotic universe, and there's random walk and all that shit, and there's no random walk. This is the most high resolution video game there ever has been, but it's still mathematically sound. So it's not about accuracy anymore. It's actually about a principle of universal structure that we're actually capturing. We have every major VIX event since I've been old enough to be calling the VIX. If I was old enough in the fucking 80s, I would have called it, but I wasn't. Since I got out of college in 2001, I have timed every single liquidation event in human history from that point forward to the exact moment. One person. And when we were talking about this with Gerber, we made the bitch pudding contest in 2018, he already had said, not him, but a couple of the guys in the front had said, it would be 1 in 32 million chance that one human would have the calls it had then. Add all this shit today, and now puts it into some kind of crazy realm. And we did another computation that puts it like 1 in like 6, 1 in, what is it? It's in the Discord. I can't even say these numbers. These numbers are like numbers we'll never ever talk about. Where's the lobby? So, somebody, Mal ran a stat here. Where is it at? It'll pop up. Oh, wait. I don't have the chart thing changed. One sec. Where is it at? Desktop. Here we go. So, this is looking at recent calls adding to the 8-6 sigma. The person that captures all of these data points in this one universe, it's like you wouldn't see what I've done in 1.6 quadrillion years, or 120,000 times the age of the universe. 120,000, 13.8 billion universes. You should not see a person get all of what I've gotten. If you're a dumbass, it sounds like I'm really accurate. No, that's not what this is. That's so far out in tail risk that this is actually a structural fundamental of the system we live in that I'm proving. This is what I told people a decade ago. This is based on universal law. It's a rule structure of the system. And if you know it, you can find that data point over and over and over again. This is what it takes supercomputers hoping to capture. We've captured this manually on instinct across 18 fucking years and documented all of it. And what's crazier, if you actually look at some of the conversations with the AI, we told somebody publicly each time. This was not done in secret. Whether it was on a blog, or it was on Twitter, or it was in Discord, we've had an audience to it. So there were witnesses to it. That's not the fact that like, oh, we told some people you could have benefited. That's not the point. It's the point that it was not scarce. It was distributed to a population every single fucking time at the exact point of origin. That changes everything about it, because it's one thing to have a scarcity like this inside of a system where nobody knows and corner of population. I told the population repeatedly the exact point of the tail risk. That's never been done. If you ever wondered who's the most accurate analyst on the history of fucking this universe and like 100,000 universes, nigga, it's for sure now. So we're going to try to get this packaged up and put into a publication, because this is the single greatest body of work ever in predictive market analysis. But not on the basis of what people are going to look at it first as like, wow, it's really accurate work. It's not that. It's the exploitation of the fucking fundamentals of a program you're watching. We have enough data now to show that this is likely what would really prove what Bank of America said, right? Bank of America came to this conclusion. And think of who this is, Bank of America. matrix. Right? In 2016, they posted this article, and this was really crazy, right? A bank, and most people don't think of it, Bank of America has a trading desk, and they base their most of what you see in Wall Street, Ken Griffin, Jane Street, all these guys do. Their models are based on something called statistical arbitrage. This is a lot nerdier show than I was planning to do. You know, when I started off, I was really waxed, and I don't know what's going on, but I'm really hyped up right now. This is probably too nerdy for fucking Solana people. They're probably like, the fuck is this nigga talking about? But anyways, I'll try to get done with this part really quick because this is probably boring most people that have no fucking clue and are waiting for some shitcoin pump stupid shit. Anyways, there's a 20 to 50% chance, 50-50, a coin flip chance. We're inside the matrix, and reality is just a simulation. That's a hell of a fucking statement to come out of a bank. But you also have to understand, why would they say such a thing? Perfect Trading Bank of America. Hopefully I can find this easily. Okay, this should be an article with a bunch of them. There's 4 of them. Here it is. This is the one I'm looking for. So I saw this. This is 2013. I believe should be 2013. Let's see. Yes, 2013. My memory's good, right? So JP Morgan, look how crazy this is, right? So let's go back out of like, hey, he's really accurate. Forget that. JP Morgan joins Bank of America with a perfect trading record. Okay, it's not one entity that's perfect. There's 2 of you, and you have a perfect quarter. So they don't lose a single day of an entire quarter. Understand how insane that statement is, right? JP Morgan and Bank of America had perfect trading records in the first quarter. They did not lose one fucking day of a quarter of a fucking year. 2 separate entities. And it's not just 2. There's more. I think there's 4 of them that end up in this pool. When you're like on a streak and you have like 10 great trading days, you're like, wow, I'm pretty smart. I'm doing good. When you go fucking like 90 days, and another dude ends up 90 days, and your model is based on something called statistical arbitrage. So I'm not going to explain this because this is going to probably mindfuck everybody on the damn station. But statistical arbitrage is basically the model, a mean reverting model that captures outlier events in statistical distribution to create a valuation between 2 assets, right? So statistical arbitrage is a quantitative market neutral trading strategy that uses algorithms to exploit temporary price inefficiencies between historical correlated securities. It involves identifying via metrics like Z-score when paired assets, i.e. Coke or Pepsi, and many other things you could do, diverge betting on their convergence, right? Mean reversion. So this is the fundamental backbone of the entire hedge fund industry. Right? When things, what the fuck is this nigga wearing? That is ridiculous. When 2 different assets in a system basically create outlier events, you are gaming the outlier events for the reversion back to the mean relationship. That outlier event, that point, is effectively in that data set what you consider quote unquote the jinx, or what many of us would consider, if we're on the wrong side of it, tail risk. The thing we could not account for. The one thing in the entire system that fucks everything up. That is what I time. I time that point across all kinds of different systems. There is mathematical equations to do this that algorithms are much faster than us can do it with at really ridiculous resolutions down to like fractions of a second. We don't have the execution speed nor the economy of scale to really make that a benefit to us at the resolutions they're doing it. But Ken Griffin and fucking Citadel, all these guys, this is what they're doing to us. When you see a wick inside the fucking perpetual contract that's outside the fucking like normal relationship with the spot market of BTC, there is a fucking differential that is an outlier event that's caused by a fucking like a liquidity crisis that massively affects the general population trading the perp, that allows them to arbitrage the perp versus the fucking actual underlying asset and capture you in what you consider the wick that fucked me. Well, it's more than that, right? It's this. So long story short, these guys are trading basically the jinx. That is what statistical arbitrage is about. The outlier event that fucks all of you in a closed zero-sum system is exploitable into models like this. And the faster they've gotten over the years, right, they can do this to us in every resolution across crazy assets, asset baskets, whatnot. I manually do this because I'm a fucking retard and I'm fucking old as shit, so I do it by hand and I do it in the slower resolutions. But anyway, this is what I also do because I understand this model. But the reality is that like this is not a lucky to find thing. It is a structural absolute in a closed system. So if you trade this long enough and you get enough of these data points, you'll eventually end up where I ended up. This can't fucking be crazy. This can't be true, but it appears that. Sorry, where'd it go? I'm retarded. Once you do it long enough, you'll realize this is amazing. This is amazing. This is amazing. Wait, what the fuck is happening? Oh my god. I came to that fucking conclusion before they did. If you look it up, actually, because my Twitter's nuked. Don't go fucking smash my page into dust, by the way, because the site's got not that much space. But Matrix, right? I figured this out before they did. 2016 is when they said it. I think Elon said it later that same year. We live in the Matrix. I came up with this concept before they said it, a couple of years before they said it, because I was landing on this point also too much. It is an outlier thing that you shouldn't find more than once, not one person. They're trading off of it, and I was trading off of it. And I recognized that like this has to be crazy, like, you know, structure of the matrix we live in is geometric, right? So quantum physics shed some interesting light on the organization and structure of the matrix we live in is a geometric universe. So I was talking about this 2 years before Bank of America figured it out. Bank of America was having this perfect quarter shit happening from 2013. JP Morgan even took it further. They ended up having a 4-year run where they only lost 2 days out of 4 fucking years. Beyond ridiculous. And if you're not like egotistical and you can look at data, you realize that really doesn't make any sense in a universe that's supposedly chaotic. It's either not chaotic at all and highly structured and very governed by mathematical principles that rival the programs that we create inside of it, or I'm insanely fucking good. Ego would make you say I'm insanely fucking good. Common sense would tell you that this is not right. And so that's what we've all arrived at. If you can time these points too many fucking times, something's really wrong here. So what I believe I've actually cooked up is I actually think I found the best proof that we're in a program. Because I've taken this to a place, an outlier event that is so fucking crazy, there's no way to fucking really get here. Crazy shit, right? So now it's not even a question if I'm the best analyst in this universe. I'm the best analyst in fucking 100,000 universes, niggas. That's a really long-winded way to get to like fucking pat myself on the back, but like it's pretty funny, right? I do this shit drunk at a bar, but it's pretty fucking hilarious. You shouldn't see this happen. One guy shouldn't land on this in 120,000 universes. I don't think anybody took time to fully value that in the Discord, but man ran this through some shit and it's actually crazy. You need like a fucking quadrillion fucking analysts to even have a chance of having one get it. It's that crazy. And the entire planet hates my ass, including people in my eco, which is exactly what would maintain my scarcity. Well, I told you the answer to the thing that nobody could answer, because if everybody believes it, it would no longer be valuable. It's literally a function of what has to happen per rule of the atom. Most of you have to hate me in order to allow me to maintain this position across such a massive span of time. That lucky 13 takes on a whole new meaning, right? Crazy shit. Anyways, I thought that was cool. That was a lot of words. I need a minute. What do you guys think? Cool shit, right? So, WNTV, nigga, run by the most accurate analyst in a couple universes. Not just your fucking local fucking like regional planet. A couple universes, niggas. How crazy is that shit? Did y'all understand any of that? Was that like Greek? Was that too much? Who's running the sim? Who gives a fuck, nigga? Does that even matter? You fucking half the battles even find out you're even in a sim. This nigga's like, didn't even take time to think about the fact you're in a simulation. Okay, so who's running? Who gives a fuck? You didn't even know you're in one 5 minutes ago. The fuck you worried about the next part? You didn't know what you're in. Handle that part first. Tell me what you think about the fact you're in a simulation before you worry about who the fucking architects are. You have no idea that you're in such a thing. You're living in an anomalies universe, damn right. Just a squirrel trying to get a nut. Nut. So anyways, if you're not in the fucking goddamn Discord on the greatest intel channel that's ever fucking existed, you niggas aren't fucking doing shit right? Because at the end of the day, this is the greatest market intel in fucking history. We have 32 plus fucking drops that are to the exact moment of entry in the last 52 weeks. Basically the jinx 30 fucking 2 times in 52 weeks. Beyond fucking crazy. Where is it at? Yeah, I know people don't read anything I post on Twitter. That's why I just shoved it back up your asses in these shows. Where did I put it? It's somewhere in here. Not that. Oh, it's not there. Come on, I'm kind of wax. I'll see it eventually. So, see, put things like this. This is the bottom of COVID, March 13th, BTC, and fucking S&P 500. The exact dates, March 17th, we have a show where we timed the VIX at 80. This is 7 Super Bowls, all the winters of crypto, the dead high and a 2B on fucking White Knight, the gold fucking boom to the exact week it fucking took off that nobody saw coming, which is the biggest boom in gold since 1981. This is the bull market no one saw coming, timed with shooting clusters, which were outlier events themselves used to triangulate an outlier position in the marketplace. This entire collage itself is ridiculous. This is a single drop on the fractal of Ukraine with Trump timing 9 assets exactly right on the exact point of entry. You have to really like step back to really picture it, because I guess it looks so goofy no one really thinks about it twice. But this is the most ridiculous shit that's ever been dropped by any analyst public, right? This is the exact fucking low when Kobe was out of crypto. And we pumped BTC in 2015 and nobody fucking knew what we were doing. We did cash cycle. And then the exact climax day of the entire arc from this point for the biggest crash since the internet bubble. This is also an outlier event. The dead top of this, the dead top of Monero Winter, the dead top in fucking like Dark White Knight. Outlier event after outlier event after outlier event. Sigma on 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 sigma. It's not possible unless this is a program. All documented, all timestamps. Why do you think it was made such an effort to wipe out the timeline that proves that this was done? Think about how crazy it is. How many people have tried to keep our brand suppressed? What is on the pages of our brand? It is the mathematical proof that you're in a program. That's a hell of a thing to keep suppressed, don't you think? I think it is. Is that what you guys feel like right now? You probably feel like this guy. I love this Muppet. You got a little buzz.
I fucking told you, bitches!
That gets funny every time you watch it. I'm not kidding. Got a little buzz. I know there's something here that I'm trying to see, but I'm too blind to see it. Well, anyways, I think you get the fucking picture, don't you? Crazy shit. What do y'all think about that? Give me some feedback. I need a fucking sec here. You're likely in some kind of a program, yeah? You know, whether we even actually have control of our bodies, we're not dreaming already, like the shit we see ourselves designing, like people talking with telepathy and fucking growing babies in fucking bags of fluid and shit like that. Who knows? Maybe we never woke up, right? We're still in a dream. Right, it's not luck, it's synchronicity, right? To a person who considers themselves unlucky, a person who's like in a, you know, in the zone that's hitting everything back to back to back, they call them lucky, but it's really just about synchronicity and you either being in tune or not in tune to find that same synchronicity. Even if you escape the sim, where are you escaping to? The sim that is a level above us. Well, if the Matrix movie is even fucking not, you know, coincidental, but actually telling you the truth is, the world outside this thing probably looks nothing like what you would imagine if you got outside the program. But the reality is, we couldn't begin to figure out how to escape the program, right? It's likely a program, and I couldn't tell you where that fucking exit is. I can just tell you that we have enough information to tell you there's something wrong with what you think about than is the natural world. Somebody said it's already March 14th. Happy Pi Day. Happy Pi Day, motherfucker. You guys know what that is. Pi is 3.14, blah, 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 blah. March 14th is considered Pi Day. Pi governs like the understanding of, like, I guess, you know, understanding of space, an area, you know, in space. It's part of, like, you know, ratio used into figuring out, like, geometry of a circle. For all you that suck at math. Two different people ask who the fuck made it. Nigga, if you're inside fucking Pac-Man, do you think you have access to who the coders are? I don't know who the fuck made it. I just know that we have enough information to figure out we're in the movie Tron right now. And that's a fucking revelation in itself. Figuring out who the fuck made it is secondary to figuring out that you're trapped inside of a system like this. You know, it could be made by fucking bugs. It could be made by aliens. It wouldn't change the difference that we're inside something that looks like fucking natural chaotic reality, but is actually highly structured at a resolution that appears chaotic, but isn't. Right, so that's something that that person said. If this one shows the BNB fractal in 2021, what happens when BNB went to 1200? Right, the entire oil fractal actually takes place in BNB 39. Sorry, 39. Let's pull that up. Actually, there's a chart for that. I'll get it. One sec. Let me find it before I change screens. I actually posted about that, right? If that's the case, then what if the entire situation we're dealing with for the BNB fractal fits into this resolution, right? This is the BNB fractal, but look, if you don't really look at it, outside the numbers for the count points, this is BNB 3839 in 2019 we're talking about, right? BNB hit like fucking 1200. That is likely Barmageddon of the Vixmageddon chart is what I think. If it's anything, if it's going to continue to follow that, then this pump, to fucking 600 is likely fucking actual Armageddon. This would probably be the test pump, if that's still to come. So if this fractal continues to hold, oil doing that next leg, which could be out, could be out after recovery, after this what looks like Armageddon to most people. And the one thing you can tell, sentiment-wise, right, the crowd thinks we're on the verge of World War III. The crowd never calls Armageddon correctly. When the crowd doesn't think World War III is afoot, that's when World War III is afoot. If they're wrong, and the masses are wrong about Trump, the situation in Iran, and this does find its way back into a more controlled situation from this point forward, in the reasonable near future, the second occurrence of this would probably be the one nobody thinks that much of if we recover from this situation now. And that is the kind of sentiment you need for a runaway freight train in the market, is for everyone to not expect a runaway freight train in the market. If everyone's looking for World War III, it's probably not World War III. That's the short version of it. So what if this is just a test bump? And what if that is where Barmageddon happens, right? Where is that, I opened that chart up. VIX-mageddon, right? Barmageddon is this guy. So we look at the structure of the VIX since 1987, Black Monday, and we bring it down with the climax of the banking crisis, the climax of COVID, the climax of the carry trade liquidation, the tariff fucking attack by Trump, and now most recently the oil crisis. This is not shit really to the last couple of events, right? Not even 9/11. This bar, though, the breakout of this shockwave, I think everybody here understands a fucking trading wedge. If this works its way down and we get a projection that we finally blow this out and we do a bar pump, a bar like this, that bar is likely, god damn it, where did it go? Really anticlimactic, you can't find it. It's likely this bar. So let's keep that in mind. That's a whole bunch of stuff. Let's go grab another thing. Let's see if I can find it. Gotta remember, human crash cycle. This is an OG chart, so hopefully I can find it. Nope. This guy. So we posted this guy back in 2022, right? And a crash cycle is the only cycle there is, right? We talked about that across like a decade also. So humans are no different. When you look at the fundamentals of what's going on, Bill Gates is attempting to basically stop us from reproducing. And you think about it first, the knee-jerk reaction is for all of us in the pig farm to go, hey, you motherfucker, you're such an evil bitch. But the fact is that we're the crowded trade in that idea. All of us don't want that to happen. We're the pigs he's trying to stop from reproducing. But AI is very quickly replacing all of what's available to us to work, to do. And it's like Thanos said, there's too many mouths to feed, right? So something has to give. Either the pigs keep breeding until the fucking entire system collapses in itself, or the people in power that have the information on something of the level I do and beyond take proactive measures to balance the pig farm out with the fucking structure of the market the way it is. A whole bunch of them can no longer produce. They can't continue to consume either. So you either have to like stop the pigs from mass producing, or you have a runaway infection that overwhelms the body of the planet, and the whole thing fails. Well, when you look at this chart here, let's put this guy into another window. I have this up right. Okay, good. All right, this is one thing that we use to pay attention to. This part of the market is very important to pay attention to. When you have this like rising wedge that looks like this and it gains acceleration into another trajectory, this is a doomed to fail trajectory. Like when something starts to approach 90 degrees like birds, they're doomed to stall, right? They cannot sustain such a parabolic move. So this happening to the population would be a very bad thing, because if you're in the blow-off part, this would be like doomed to fail. And there need to be some fundamentals that would show up, because we know good technicals put you in the same place as good fundamentals. So when you're in the banking crisis and the mortgage boom is happening and houses are running away like this fucking parabolic move, incomes of the people who are contributing to the housing boom cannot keep up. And so the underlying fundamentals of the lack of affordability eventually erodes the market, and the disproportionate risk that fucking people buying mortgage-backed securities comes home to roost in fucking like unqualified borrowers buying fucking disproportionate risk without the fundamentals supported, and balloon payments knocking people out because they use fucking adjustable rate mortgages to purchase things at like a short end fucking like a constriction to costs and interest rates, and ultimately surprise the balloon payments when they caught back up to where the market should be, and a whole bunch of things came together to blow the market apart, right? So there's a fundamental that will take place in a parabolic that will cause the reversion to the mean, right? Consider this the jinx. I'm a genius moment where everybody thinks that they're all safe. The fly in the ointment is that the underlying fundamentals are fucking collapsing, and this is basically what fucking statistical arbitrage firms try to hit, is this exact point that kills the greatest majority in the system and has a full tilt in the zero-sum system and reverts back to the mean of where it's supposed to be. So ultimately there are fundamentals that should bring about the correction of the parabolic. This is like, I'm trying to get at being really nerdy because I know it bores people, but I guess we're just here now. So anyways, we look at this chart in terms of the human race, and we go back from semi-nomadic era of city-states, era of empires. This part is that part, which means after you beat the acceleration of this trajectory and you steepen the angle of attack, you're in the blow-off phase of mankind. So the blow-off phase of mankind began like probably like 1500s. And it's been, this is, you have to think about the time scale of this parabolic happening. It's not happening inside of 30 or 40 years. It's happening across a few hundred. And right now, we're reaching to a place that what is the big crisis? Fertilizer, oil, gas, and energy. Isn't it? We're in a crisis of these exact fundamentals today. That's what's going crazy in the market. Fertilizer and oil and gasoline and natural gas. Energy crisis and a key component of food production crisis. Along with Gates trying to kill us, right? This chart is 10 years old. Fertilizer leverage just left the building. Oil is going crazy. This is 2022. These are exactly what's in focus right now. Fertilizer and oil. This is a key component. Our energy and the ability to fucking yield enough from our crops to feed us is what's in jeopardy right now. Bill Gates is really trying to balance the equation with how many mouths there are to feed, because the things that would likely bring about a correction for the human civilization is a collapse in fucking food to stabilize us, war, disease, and ultimately famine brought about a food crisis. We have the makings of that right now. And so the replacement problem we're all having post-COVID, with whatever they did to us with the vaccines plus the virus itself, they're attempting to actually stop us from basically fucking tilting the system so far. We crash and overcorrect this entire thing and blow up as a fucking species. Gates might not be wrong, because he, as much as he's hated, that's an emotion. He's the only person outside the equation that seems to fucking realize why he's got to do what he's doing. We might need to be fucking stopped before we kill ourselves. So this graph is remotely like any other crash cycle. The fundamentals that you bring around, let's see if I can find this also. It's on Twitter, but I can find it here. Let's see, Vix Mageddon. All right, this write-up that I didn't show KJ. I was wondering, I wasn't standing for the whole thing. There's a write-up behind here, but just to get that out of the way. All right, so we wrote about this in 2019. This is another ridiculous thing, if this is really happening, right? This was written in 2019. Bottom paragraph. What looks like a matter of time before we see a fractal bubonic plague or something else crazy on a wide scale, and the rise of AI will help to contribute to the fundamental conditions necessary to bring about the human crash cycle as near as 2035 to 2050. This is another one of our projections that ties into Vix Mageddon. We should have some fucking fundamentals that look like the housing market, lack of affordability, that undercuts the market's parabolic, that helps to fucking usher in a crash cycle. We have pandemics running wild. We have measles. We have fucking COVID already. We have a replacement problem since that point. We have a food crisis. We have an energy crisis. We have the key components of the fundamentals that erode the parabolic structure of the human population's growth rate. And now we have fucking 10% of the homes in Japan vacant. We have visas to come fuck different countries, fucking women to fucking get babies because of fucking there's a contraction. We're actually starting to show signs of cracks in the armor from the rate of production that humans have. Hell, they have a fucking replacement problem in Jamaica. Let me tell you right now, in Jamaica, the only thing to do in a third world country is to fucking make babies. If those niggas are having problems, we're all fucked. Because that's all niggas do down there. And people are fucking, fertile down there. If they're having fertility problems also, then they poison the entire world to stop us from basically killing ourselves. And ultimately, Bill Gates is considered a madman. He'd be considered Thanos, though, right? Thanos really would like to kill half the planet, and he was dispassionate. He wasn't biased. He would kill fucking rich and poor alike in order to bring down the consumption to a place that the planet could balance itself. That is what Gates is actually up to, and they would not have such conviction to do this unless they knew they had to. Crazy thought. That was a hell of an opening fucking show, isn't it? That was a lot of stuff. I'm not sure what I was supposed to tell you guys after that. That was like everything you could ever want to know, isn't it? Should probably stress the motherfucker out, I bet. I wish I'd gotten a drink for this fucking show. I'm about to die in this mask. Good God almighty. Can't fucking breathe. But anyways, so I've documented all of it. You know, whether it be banking crisis to Vix Mageddon to fucking fractal bubonic plagues. And let's hope one of these I get wrong, because at the end of the day, we're the pigs in the farm. We're who's gonna die. What do you guys think on that one? I'll get to comments here in a second. Alright, like check what he said. The statistics of you being equal to witnesses is quite crazy, Gamble. I agree with that. If I wasn't getting wiped off the internet constantly by fucking cocksuckers, this probably would get an economic Nobel Prize. I have probably the greatest body of work capturing fucking crises across 18 years. Well, I don't, it's not a guess. I am the only fucking human that's ever captured all of these fucking extremes in 18 years. There isn't anybody else in this universe or the next. And so the fact that I've been suppressed for fucking a decade and have my brand constantly repeatedly erased, so I have on the timeline documented the occurrences that reflect fucking the reality that we're not in a fucking chaotic universe. That's exactly what should happen if it's valuable. The entire planet should try to hide it. That's telling you that it's valuable, simply because that is the fundamental of what's been going on with my work. So myself and the person that I'm working with legally, we're both aware of it. This could only happen because it's actually that valuable. And that's what we told you, ignorance encircles value. Hate is an emotion which leads to ignorance. That is what encircles my work, as I put the answer to every major crisis in the banking crisis public. And when I wrote that blog post, Economic Crisis, I sent it to family members here in Jamaica. I sent it to colleagues, and they just thought I was crazy. And then Armageddon took all of them out of the market. And it didn't matter that I got it right. The next thing I said was, Bitcoin in 2013, that's crazy. It didn't matter. The reality is, if something is truly valuable, most people cannot possibly value it. The acumen I have for looking at data means that I can value it quicker with more conviction than the average person. If the average person could come to the same conclusion as quickly as I did, it wouldn't be valuable information. It's just the fundamental of what value has to look like, right? It has to have utility and it has to have scarcity. The bulk of people will never come to the conclusion that something is valuable if it truly is. That is just what it has to be. And so the value proposition in a system is definably tail risk. Most people cannot identify tail risk. That's why it's called tail risk, right? That was a lot. That was a hell of an opener. I'm fucking tired, niggas. I think I'm signing off. I'm done. Did y'all get that? Lucky 13. See you, niggas. No, I'm playing. We're at an hour and 30 fucking minutes? Are you bullshitting me? I've been telling you one fucking point for an hour? Like, kill me right now, bro. How is that happening? I feel like I'm in a time fucking warp. I thought that was 20 minutes. How did the opening credits go 20 minutes, and how did this go a fucking hour? Did I talk for an hour straight at that speed with no water? That's bullshit. You guys think that for like an hour? It's an hour and a half. It's been like a whole fucking movie already. I don't feel like time makes sense when I do these fucking shows, bro. This is how me and KJ be on here and he's like, yo, I'm about to fucking die. I'm like, oh, it's like 3 hours and 30 minutes. It's like the Lord of the Rings. I've been talking straight for 1 fucking hour without a break. Bullshit. That doesn't even fucking make sense to me, and I just did the talking. You guys feel like there was an hour of bullshit I just said to you? Now it feels like bullshit because of an hour. I really felt like I was going to make like a quick point and then go look at some charts and stuff. But here we are, doing dumb shit. Oh man, if I've been talking that long, I've got like fucking next to no time to get to a bar to catch another drink. It's 12:15, niggas. I'm catching last call, so I've got to get done in 45 minutes. So fuck you. I'm getting fucking some fucking liquor. I discovered a really good fucking tequila. I can't get enough of it. So I never realized Don Julio and Patron were total shit. That shit's marketed so good on TV. You think it's good shit. It's not good shit. Those things have additives that give you a hangover. So I've gotten like really, it sounds stupid, organic tequila. This shit called Cascanes. If you niggas never had that shit is fucking amazing. There's 3 versions of it. Get the Reposado. That shit is like, I've never liked tequila. I'm 47 and I think tequila would make my face implode every time I drank it. This is actually good shit. It's massively different. And for whatever reason I drink it, I have crazy energy. As a guy who's almost 50 years old, trust me, this is pretty fucking remarkable stuff. Anyways, that's neither here nor there, but you can understand. Hyperbolic shit, right? How the fuck did an hour go by of me fucking talking? I want to fucking just jump right out the fucking window right now, bro. That's fucking crazy as fuck to me. I was trying to make like the side point to go talk about like stuff happening in the market. That was an hour in itself. Like, Jesus Christ, you probably dumped the coin for me running my fucking mouth that long. What are we doing? 1.1 milli. Y'all ain't sleeping on this fucking coin, are you? You guys ain't sleeping on this coin, are you? You can't maximize this. Can you? Where's this? Oh, it does that. Not dead, niggas. So, for you niggas in Discord, I know you guys have heard about Icarus. And you've seen some fucking signs of what Icarus can do. So, with all that has been said, Icarus and my models are built around the shit you see me doing for 18 years. Finding the point in a system that most people would think is an outlier event or the quote-unquote black swan. And locating the point of inception for, the greatest moves in markets. If I put that into general public and had multiple people like see this thing do what it does, ultimately I know the degenerate behavior of the public would have everybody go running to 1 second charts and imbalancing fucking systems that don't have liquidity to actually hide 5 people showing with like $2 and $3 million in 1 second to 5 second structures. So what we plan to do here is create a community around WinTV. This is about winning TV, market TV. My planning is the best it's ever been in fucking 18 years of doing this. And we're going to build a community around Icarus and a lot of tools that I'm now using AI to code and create to make automated, efficient versions of what I did manually for all these years. Because I am getting fucking old, let's be honest. I'm fucking grandpa to some of you motherfuckers in the show right now. But we're going to fucking create a trading ecosystem around a lot of what I'm actually designing in AI right now. And you're going to need to own some of this coin if you want to fucking be in that room. So we're going to do a Vulcan verification, and you're going to have, I won't say what it is yet, because we're still refining some things before we get that launched. But it's going to be a Vulcan verification of WinTV tokens. And again, we talked about this, right? This is a utility-based meme coin. So the utility has yet to be seen. Most people thought it was just a show. It's not just a show. We are designing systems that are going to be fucking, 300 lines of code to take on Wall Street. But trust me, the most efficient, most beautiful code you've ever seen in your life. I'm not going to show it to you, but I think you guys already know what it does, right? This is, where'd it go? Discord. Announcements. Alright, this was, not that. It's been a minute, huh? Sheesh. I write a lot in the damn announcements. Jesus Christ. There's something in there. Or I'm crazy. Oh, this is God. I really write a lot in it. God damn. That's, March 8th. I talk a lot. Anyways, this is what's his face? Charlie Biello talking about the oil situation being, that it was a 6 sigma event. If you look at what a 6 sigma event means, it's like 1 in like fucking a billion chance of figuring that out. But this is Icarus, is a model based around my ideas, a whole bunch of different parts of it intertwined. And now that I have Claude, I know how to talk to AIs and stuff like that. But it was time some stupid shit. So this is actually the oil move timed with Icarus. Icarus is this background highlighting model, and we are going to basically create a trading ecosystem around a model that is based on these theorems that we've created across the last, I guess it's been 2 fucking decades. I hate saying that out loud. That's a really long fucking time. 2026 from 2018, I started documenting this work. That sucks. That's 18 fucking years. My kid's 19. Jesus Christ. I really feel fucking old thinking about this. But yeah, so that's how we're gonna do it. It'll be on my other server over here. This bad boy. I don't want to be there. Hang up, motherfucker. I have a chat room. Yeah. So this is the other server. I've cleared this server, and this will be basically a Vulcan verified WinTV server, and this will become the Icarus trading platform. So it's gonna be a everybody can join kind of thing, because obviously you can't have a million people on that side of the equation. So we're gonna do a Vulcan verification of WinTV. We'll talk more about the details of, like, what needs to qualify to go over there. But this is going to become the first real utility-based meme coin, and it's going to produce some fucking rock stars when I'm done with it. At the end of the day, motherfuckers have been trying to crush my brand out of existence for a decade straight. You failed, niggas, and we're better than we've ever been. Get ready, motherfuckers. 2026 is about to be fucking lit. With Armageddon on the fucking horizon, whether it's a test launch or it's a real deal, we're going to be ready to navigate this thing in a way that nobody on the planet is going to be able to pull off. And I think you know that already based on that fucking shit from AI. So, small taste of what's going to happen. If you guys are inside the Intel channels, you're already seeing what we're doing. If you're not in the Intel channels and you're out there trying to navigate this shit show of a fucking planet that Trump is fucking taking a sledgehammer to, what are you doing with your life, right? At the end of the day, we're literally that fucking precise. This is the actual fucking arc of fucking BTC, and where's the oil fucking move? I thought this was that wasn't that. Not that. I don't know. We write a lot in here. Can't figure out where anything is. Read the announcement channels. There's all kinds of goodies in here. I don't know. But we have commodities over here. Our timing is fucking next level on these things. Yeah, this is the oil play right here before it fucking caught fucking gas at 77. This is the exact moment to play it. Fucking heading out. And this background highlight you see, this is that's Icarus. There's a couple other components we've created now. We've created a KTF volume, which is fucking ridiculous. And we're creating all the components of like our ideas that we're actually figuring out how to code these things. It took us a while to want to do it because there are a lot of people that, if you tell fucking the ideas to encode, it's just going to get stolen from you. So it took years before I actually had the capability to write it myself, and now thanks to AI I can. So I can actually keep some of those theorems like, where they need to be, which is scarce, while trying to put them out in a place they can benefit, the average person that's a victim to the system the way it is today. So don't sleep on us, niggas. We got plans. WinTV's got a long ways to go. Whew. Good lord. Lucky 13 turned much crazier than I thought it was going to be. I was just trying to fucking tell you like a side point about that stupid AI thing. Jesus Christ. Did you guys catch all that? Are you bored? Are you fucking sleeping? You guys awake? We haven't seen a screen for about 10 minutes. What do you mean you haven't seen a screen? Are you seeing just me on the camera, or you see nothing? See pump on tab and nothing else. What do you guys see right now? Do you still see on screen? Because I'm on main camera right now. You see the pump on screen, so you're stuck? That's not good. You see me? You see me right now? Do you see pump on anymore? Or you see me on the camera like this? You see me, okay. Do you see, I'm on desktop. Do you see, tell me what you see now. That's not good. The camera's not switching, I didn't know that. Oh, OBS didn't have a glitch. Only you now. So I've changed it. So you see the window, so you can see pump fund tab, mirror effect. Okay, so can you see Discord now? Yes, no? I was on that. Do you see Discord now or no? Do you see me sliding across screens? Do you see Discord at all? Do you see anything else but the fucking window? Do you see anything else? That's not good. So I'm looking on the show itself, and the show shows me window and window. Still pump on the screen. Okay, how about... Uh-oh, I think it's fucked. Yeah, you might be right. Charts only tab. Let's see. Do you guys see Twitter right now? Let me know if you see Twitter right now. So I've got the light crude next to the VIX Smart Barmageddon. Do you guys see that? Oh, when it goes to Discord, it's freezing? Okay. That sucks. Alright, okay, Discord itself is not working. Okay, I got you. Let's see. That sucks ass. Alright, I'm in Discord now. Do you see Discord inside the tab? This is the Chrome view. Let me come back and see. Do you guys see that? Okay, so I couldn't desktop share. Discord itself fucked up. The best, okay, I see what you're saying, yeah. Apparently, I didn't realize I wasn't showing Discord at all. That sucks ass. Alright, so what I was trying to show you, wow, this is anticlimactic as fuck. I put in the server, this here right now, this is the KTF and actual Icarus running together. And so this is basically going to enhance our, we've always been focused on finding the moment of entry, the point of inception, which is basically the point that fucks most people because it's what's valuable. This is a filtration we've created between KTF and Icarus that basically will find the exact moment of entry. And this interpretation, how to interpret it, I'll go over later. But this actually shows you how to find, well, it is this formula that I've created. It will show you the exact points of entry that I've been spending like 18 years triangulating manually. This automates a lot of what I already understand. So this room I'm going to build around it will be based on that. This is not worth showing there. Let's see. I can't find the older stuff. I wrote a lot of junk in here. That sucks. All that shit I was blabbing about, you guys couldn't see anything. That's annoying. Very annoying. God, I post a lot of stuff in the announcements channel. You gotta read this shit. There's all kinds of goodies in there. What's this? That was that's a crypto. Are we back in time now? What's the date stamp? February 18th. Okay, it's way back. For our Intel channels right now, we're starting to drop things like we dropped Lunar and we dropped gold and we dropped oil, all based on this model, which is basically just an automation of what we already do anyways. So don't think it's like something completely out of fucking left field. It's just what we've been doing, right? So this was actually the oil play that I was trying to show you. This is actually Icarus and when you should look at oil. So this tells you when you should look. And we've refined it based on our models for like 18 years. Just that now we can code ourselves. We are able to actually put out like sheets based on that intel. And so our timing should get even better than it's been, which has already been fucking something you don't see in a couple of universes. But now we've automated, so we can actually look at a lot more things much faster. So this was actually the oil play at inception here when we took off at like 77. Obviously, we got it with the January 5th move at 58 in the basket of OIH. This was the next straight stable structure that came into February, and we timed the exact exit of this guy, like to the exact moment. If you look at when this was posted, that is literally the gas pedal that became the fucking entire arc that captured the entire world's attention and fucking blew everybody up. And this is actually a free roll call to the exact minute before it corrected. So this is what we're going to do when we talk about WinTV. We are going to build a community around what our developments are and some of these things we're creating. Now we understand how to use AI to bring these things into reality, finally in 2026. So don't sleep on it, bitches. It's going to be game-changing shit. So for the motherfuckers that don't want to work your bullshit jobs anymore, this is going to be the best thing that WinTV's ever put into the fucking marketplace. But again, it's not something I can do with hundreds of people because rule of the atom is a thing. So, but yeah, that's kind of anticlimactic. My fault for that. I did not realize what was happening there. I had stocks here. This is Lennar 311. This came out of actually Icarus 311 at 7 o'clock in the morning. So if we go back and look at that guy, Lennar at 311. Get an idea how precise this is in a second. This is the 11th. Where is that? Yeah. Lennar was dropped from that point. This should all be gas pedals. Should be instant bangers. The point that most people would miss is what we're trying to basically time. So we worked that out, as you can tell, for like 18 years. We already knew how to do it like intuitively. We've now created a code that actually codes that so we can do it much faster for lots of things, whether it be oil or Lennar or whatever the fuck. Besides going into earnings, but this is what WinTV is going to actually evolve to as a utility-based meme coin. It is a trading ecosystem based around these models that we have in Icarus and KTF. So anyways, more to come on that before the end of the month. We're going to figure that out, and we're going to launch that server probably like in April or so. So we'll talk more about it in the next show. I think I've blabbed enough for right now. I can barely breathe. Alright, don't use a desktop fucking tab in OBS. Got it. Can we apply Icarus to WinTV? You damn right you can, because fucking WinTV is inside motherfucking TradingView. I can 100% apply Icarus to that. Will I do it on this show? Maybe. Maybe not. You'll never know. No, we'll figure it out. Do you need Icarus, nigga? This is me, motherfucker. I am Icarus. We got Icarus in it. Trust me. This bitch is gonna go fucking nuclear, nigga. Anyways. That's fine. How has that been? Like 3 hours since I said the last thing? The way time is going tonight. Hour and 52 minutes. This is a 2-hour fucking show of me blabbing non-stop with no charts. Alright. We gotta talk some charts and stuff. So world's burning, we're in the weekend, oil's doing crazy shit. Let's take a look at some things, and then I'll try to fucking take some questions at the end of here and get you guys out, because it's late as fuck. It's 12:36, 12:35. It's fucking time's running away from us, so let's get some stuff up here. If you guys didn't know it, this is the anniversary, it's a shitty anniversary of my little Ivy passing away. So I did actually release some artworks that were created a year ago around this time when she was sick. If you guys haven't seen that, do want to show that off a little bit, because these were probably the most meaningful last really crazy works that I did. If I put it on desktop, it's not going to work, you just said. That's not good. Of course it's not loading. This is Signs. This is the first piece. And this is actually a pretty cool piece. This is actually tied to a project called Secret Wars, which was analogy for what she was going through, and also like most of our artwork, is done. What was going on in the market at the same time. This is when Trump came into the market. If you guys don't know, Secret Wars. Where did I put it? Secret Wars. Secret Wars. Let me know if you can see this, because I know how this is working. So, desktop only. Secret Wars are 3 pieces together that will outline the end of her life, and also were key timing points in the market itself, which I'll show you here. Secret Wars fit into exactly this: the high at the beginning of 2025 when Trump took office, and the correction that ensued before he actually dropped the tariff news. There were dead timings to the exact top and the 2B at the top, and the 2 pieces, Secret Wars and Opulent Fellas. Opulent Fellas is Latin for a cat's eye. And then the end of days. This was actually just much like, the Infinity Gauntlet series. This was a key timings in price and key timings in life. But this is obviously a much, bigger deal than what, was going on in many of the previous series like that. If you guys don't remember the Infinity Gauntlet series, not sure what's going on. 6 Stone. I know who that purple chick is. It never comes up in the search the way it's supposed to. It's 100% called the Infinity Gauntlet series and it has 6 stones. And it never searches right for some crazy reason. I'll have to figure out how to find that bitch later. But, you guys know how the comics work, so I don't have to re-explain that shit. But, did you guys see that, or did it not go over to the screens that you just put it on? It's frozen on the browser tab again. Okay, well fuck it. We're not gonna fucking fun about that. Anyways, if you guys are like interested in fucking who is on the station, the top tier intel that's on the planet in this universe, go in Discord. Go to start here. You can find your way into Intel channels that way, or go to YouTube. You can go to YouTube to our station over there. And if you want to go to YouTube, you can actually sync YouTube with Discord, and you can find your way to Intel channels to YouTube in the subscription. So we have the best intel on the planet. It's on Twitter too. Dark Winter was public for anybody that paid attention and didn't think we're just crazy. That was also perfectly timed for the fucking privacy coin fucking crash. And ultimately, the privacy coin crash and Zcash specifically, more so than XMR, that ultimately is also the downwave that we see in crypto assets, all the same. Yeah, I don't know why it's doing that. So, is it auto froze? Because I'm back to like fucking normal camera. So hopefully it unfroze that shit. How annoying. I'll get this guy. I think there's a way to open that guy. That's so fucking crazy. It doesn't let me fucking do that. Oh, I got 23. Okay. Alright, not a big deal. I know, so it's crazy. On the day I did put these Ivy pieces up, Foundation that has hosted most of my artwork literally got sold that day. Unbelievably. That's not the right thing. What is that? What? That's not what I have up. That's not even on my screen anymore. Where's that coming from? not healthy. I don't know if I can get the charts up here, what that's doing. What the fuck is going on there? That search is not what's up there. I appear to be frozen in a couple places, but that is not what I have on my browser. And I can't get that out. That's next to Discord? Maybe Discord's fucking it up. Yeah, that's not good. I know, guys. I can't stop that. That's not what the browser's doing. That's not even there anymore. It appears OBS has fucked me in the ass, but I cannot change that on either fucking output. I cannot stop it from showing you that nonsense. I think it's a tremendous amount of information. It looks like I gotta probably kill it here because I can't get to a chart anymore because it is fully fucking frozen on that in every fucking tab now. macOS capture. Why are you doing this? Hold on. I might have stopped it. Something's not right. Window capture, application capture. Google Chrome. Nope, not coming back. Houston, we have a problem. God damn it, OBS. What the fuck happened here? Google Chrome, where'd you go? Damn. Alright. It appears that OBS is fucking shit to bed. So I cannot change to capture any windows in Chrome anymore. I probably can't resolve this until I start the show over, so I think I'm fucked. But that was 2 hours of a lot of fucking information that hopefully you guys saw. Yeah, something's gone crazy. I can't capture the desktop, and I can't capture Chrome anymore. It's totally stuck. But we covered a lot of stuff on statistical arbitrage and fucking the crash cycle of the human population, and you know what tail risk really means. Probably some stuff that's probably a little bit too technical, but it does play exactly into this conversation about Lucky 13. Lucky 13 is obviously a reference to the 13 in the wave count of the B&B fractal, but also speaking on synchronicities and what that really means. You know, when we talk about it, there are absolute points in a mathematical system that to the untrained eye would appear to be coincidence, but the reality is they're mathematically precise points that the bulk of the population cannot land upon, which would effectively be considered within a zero-sum system as what you could call tail risk or the jinx. So today, also the 13th, right, some unlucky shit's happening on this stream. It's Friday the 13th. I fully expected it, you know what I'm saying? But like, I didn't want it, but it's exactly what should fucking happen on Friday the 13th. Is all my shit should go completely fucking haywire when I'm fucking live. Hopefully you guys learned a lot. There's a lot to talk about. But yeah, we don't live in some kind of random walk universe. We definitely live in something that's probably, you know, closer to a fucking video game. And one of the fucking realities is that like the video games that we make are going to adhere to the system that is the macro of the system they're made within. Like we talked about this in many shows before on YouTube, right? There was a kid that made a computing system inside of Minecraft, and his computer in Minecraft has to adhere to the rule set that Minecraft governs inside in the program. Once you make a program that's inside of it, it is going to be reflective of the program that's within, as above, so below. The reality is that the mathematical precision of what I'm showing you here and what Bank of America stumbled upon is the rule set of the game we're in within the system that's larger, which is the universe. The universe governs all things below, which goes all the way down to Pac-Man and Call of Duty. And these are geometrically precise systems that at the highest resolutions start to appear to be chaotic and random, but no matter what, underneath the hood, they are mathematically precise systems. The fact is that we're demonstrating this not in Call of Duty, we're demonstrating this in reality, whether we're forward projecting the bubonic plague fractal, or a fucking war with Iran, or a fucking this, that, the other that mirrors some other fucking part of the system. This only works if this thing has a construct that is mathematically precise. So we'd never get away with this. And so I think what we have now in data points that we can look at and run through this AI is absolute proof that we have a simulation on our hands and not the chaotic idea that we had. Now maybe the actual real, the universe or whatever it is only that. Since reality is definable in mathematics, it would stand to reason that anything that you consider chaotic is really order that you haven't really fucking discerned yet. So I think what we have here is proof of the mathematical principles of certainty that the universe has embedded in the statistically anomalous fucking findings we have across 18 years. I think that's probably a good place to close. This has been an exceptionally nerdier show than I wanted to do. That's crazy. I wanted to have this be simple, and it's totally fucking not. But did you guys get it? Did you learn some shit? Yes, no, maybe so. Do you want to kill yourself? Don't kill yourselves. Quantum immortality suggests you're just gonna fuck it up and wake up someplace you're halfway retarded, so don't do that. Some people get 50. Window within window. That's about it. We live in a simulation, and WNTV is going to go to the fucking moon as the first ever utility-based meme coin, and the utility is going to be something that nobody could even fucking fathom out there in the marketplace. It is run by the best analyst in 100,000 universes. Don't let that part slip by. I don't care if you fucking hate me, bitches. You have to hate the AI too. Sigma on Sigma on Sigma on Sigma, niggas. This is Lucky 13. Happy Friday the 13th, motherfuckers. Drinks on me. Well, if you come see me, that is. Anyways, that was fun. Missed my co-host tonight. KJ's got family right now. He's spring break, so he'll be back when he can, and we'll get another show up here. Tekerson's a little sick too, so he wasn't able to come in. But do you want to touch on some things? Do you want to touch on Icarus? Do you want to touch on fucking some of the track record that we're putting down? For somebody that thinks this is just some crazy ass motherfucker in a mask, you could be right, but could also be the most accurate motherfucker and a crazy ass motherfucker in a mask. Both those things can be true at the same time, So stay tuned. The world's on fire right now. Our intel is the best it's ever been. Trying to keep you ahead of every twist and turn that comes out there, whether it be oil, gold, or fucking fucking Trump's stupid ass fucking blowing something he shouldn't. Situation is fluid. The 2020s look a lot like what we said it would look like in Flesh of My Flesh. It would keep on becoming a new level of crazy that would become normal, and we all keep wishing we go back to what it used to be. As long as that's a crowded trade that we want at, the craziness is gonna fucking get. All you have is fucking your wits and the fucking the ability to stay ahead of the crowd that's gonna be fucking victims to every next tide and turn that is operating at the level that most of the crowd operates at. You can't be down there. You can't be a doom scrolling idiot. You've got to stay above the fray right now because fucking everybody's being ejected out of work. There's definitely a concerted effort to stop us from breeding, and the world is in a precarious position. If you don't take it seriously, you're gonna find yourself in the masses that fucking are swept away in the fucking current. So I don't think this is the time to fall asleep when the world's got 3 nuclear powers sitting off the coast of Iran right now, and everyone's losing their jobs, and food is in question of production, and fucking fuel costs are also in question. This is a lot crazier than I think most people are still taking it for. And most people are not taking shit seriously at all. So you should. Because Nomics said so. There's a new site now where AI rents humans for work. I saw that, and that's it says, yeah, that's the scariest thing ever. If AI agents start to fucking grab us for work, it's just a stone throw away before in Terminator and they decide they don't need too many of us, I think that's one of the craziest things I've seen yet. But fuck those agents and fuck anybody who thought that idea sounds smart. It's like they're walking us into a goddamn death trap. It's 1 in the morning. It's been over 2 hours. Hope you guys learned a lot. It was fun. Glad I got to catch you on Friday the 13th for Lucky 13. Keep your eye on that BNB fractal. The catalysts are definitely out there to make this a lot worse. It can be a fucking moment's notice that something else explodes and shits through the fucking ceiling. Trump is not trustworthy. Obviously, everything he says is a fucking lie. But your eyes aren't going to deceive you right now. The world's on fucking fire, and he definitely steps into the wrong fucking country to fucking drop bombs in. Iran isn't going away like he hoped for really quickly, and they're built for war. They've been planning to fight against us for like 4 decades. So this is all they've been waiting for. They've got nothing else you care about the world. But to knock over the fucking, like, you know, the Western power that fucking had the nerves to tell them what their country could be and who could run it and who, you know, who would be allowed to stay in power or not. These people have a bone to pick, and it's a generational bone to pick. So good chance this gets a lot crazier before it gets like less. You know, if oil is going to chill out, I still think there's a possibility it has a catalyst that here drives up to look more at the projection of BNB's oil fractal. If we blow out that high, 200 could definitely be next. You know, Iran's calling that target to 220 is what I have on the fucking sheet from fucking 2019. They have the capacity to create a situation hostile enough that it can get there. The strategic reserve dump, that be damned. You can only do that so long until you haven't got anything. If they sustain this war long enough, you're going to have no reserves, and it's going to become an even more dire situation. So we're watching soybeans. I've talked to some of my Asian correspondents, and ultimately soybeans are contributors to biodiesel, and that is part of what the South, you know, Asian economies are trying to do to kind of navigate around what's happening. Vietnam has a stay-at-home, you know, order going out right now to keep people from consuming gas. 95% of the fucking fuel in Thailand is coming out of the Straits of Hormuz. So no one's really talked about it in the Western media, but the fucking Far East is in like deep shit with what's going on there, as they've got a fucking like complete bottleneck in access to fuel. So natural gas, gasoline, everything's going fucking crazy. Soybeans is a part of the food supply of most of Asia. If it starts to get leaned into for fucking fuel production, that's a further draw on the food supply, while fertilizers in question to keep yields in place. There is so many different moving parts here that looks like part of that fucking human fucking crash cycle chart, and the fundamentals that can come across to fucking create a crash cycle in the human population, with Gates in the background executing Epstein's plan to fucking feed us lab-grown meat or whatever the fuck he's gonna give us that's gonna stop us from having babies. There's a lot to pay attention to, and ultimately liquidity is the thing that fixes most things, right? You know, like the Fed injecting liquidity fixes most situations in the economy. You being liquid is what's going to take to move your ass out of the way of a freight train. To be able to fucking buy a cow from a farmer that you can be sure is not 3D printed, to go get your cheese right from the farmer so there's no weird enzyme put into it from Pfizer. Like, you have to have money in this environment. There are definitely the powers that be are trying to fucking kill us. It's not a question of if, they're 100% trying to do that. Gates has stated in the past that there's too many people, and forced vaccination is a great way to do population control without a fucking carbon footprint. That was one of his famous quotes, right? They're not necessarily wrong, as much as we fucking disapprove of the entire notion of fucking deciding when we can reproduce and whatnot. You don't call the pigs, the farm's going to become imbalanced and everybody's going to die. So maybe that is the point we're at. Either way, you know, you're in the heart of the developmental process that leads to Vix-Mageddon. This is definitely not the time to go complacent. I wouldn't fucking be on the show telling you some of this nuanced information at like high detail and not just give you flashy charts if it wasn't important. But the reality is we forecast a lot of disasters, and don't get me wrong, I wouldn't mind completely clean missing Vix-Mageddon, but in the event that I don't, you know, chance favors the prepared mind, right? Guys get all that? Yes, no, maybe so. Give me a fucking, like, you know, healthy chuckle. Let me know you got something. Negroes. About to throw us in pods and rent us as batteries. Some have to go for others to live. I mean, that's just nature, right? Someone has to die. William Gerber said someone has to die for Bitcoin to live. Apparently it was Epstein. I don't know. Maybe not even. But that's just a natural order of things, right? Everybody can't make it. That's just what it is. And they tell this warning to fucking 100 people. Rule of the dictates like one of you took it seriously. At the end of the day, value is fucking something that seldom had. and it is governed by scarcity. So if what I'm saying is remotely fucking accurate, most people in this show won't even believe it. And that's exactly what it should be if it's going to be accurate. You're gonna need a lot of money to live a basic life. You're gonna need a lot of money to fucking not need to be employed. You're gonna need a lot of money to fucking pay for insurance and medicals and things like that without a fucking employer to do it. You're gonna need to be fucking your own fucking boss, because the reality is, like, the most of the knowledge-based jobs are going away. Unless you guys are gonna become a plumber or an electrician, there's almost no place to get shit done anymore. So there's a lot to be concerned about. Like I said, Vic's Flesh on My Flesh told you, the 2020s is gonna keep getting crazy. And the baseline of 2026 as normal is insane per 2021-22 standards. That's not stopping. 2029 is going to make this look like a picnic. What the fuck has to be going on up there? Can you only imagine, right? So I think that's about it, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you guys enjoyed the show. Let's see, our runtime on this guy was 2 hours and 15 minutes. All right. I won't kill you anything else. I hope you guys enjoyed it. You know, and Friday the 13th is over. Have a good weekend. Stay frosty, though. Keep eyes on crypto. Coming to fucking Monday. We want eyes on fucking commodities. I'm sorry I can't do any charts. Things are jammed. If anything, I might try to do something to make up for it before we get to Monday, where I can get to showcase and stuff, so we can get some, like, you know, other plans made. But beyond that, anything that I think is important or worth paying attention to will get dropped in Discord. So if you're not in there, get in there, niggas. The best intel in a couple universes. Alright, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you enjoyed it. Had fun. Catch you on the flip. Peace out.
Came from the shadows, ledger in my hand. Blockchain profit, they don't understand. Numbers like hieroglyphs, I wrote the scroll. They try to burn it, but I mind my soul. Winternomics, frostbitten and cold. Every coin flip, story unfolds. Through my game, try to lock my name, but I coded the keys to the Hall of Fame. Kazonomics, they can't erase. Legacy carved in the data space. Try to block me, I broke the chain. Winners here, but I own the game. Attack from my...
Man, that coin's fucking moving. Y'all seen that shit? Jesus Christ. Easy. 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 Till next time, niggas. Don't sleep on WNTV. I fucking told you.
Came from the shadows, ledger in my hand. Blockchain profit, they don't understand. Numbers like hieroglyphs, I wrote the scroll. They try to burn it, but I mind my soul. Winternomics, frostbitten and cold. Every coin flip, story unfolds. Through my game, try to lock my name, but I coded the keys to the Hall of Fame. Kazonomics, they can't erase. Legacy carved in the data space. Try to block me, I broke the chain. Winners here, but I own the game. Attack from all sides, wolves in the mist. Turn to a dragon, scales glinting with risk. Algorithm assassin, trades cut deep. Why they slept on me, I never did sleep. They took my stash, tried to hack my mind, but the block stayed solid, can't rewind time. Made it happen, from ashes to gold. Phoenix on the ledger, story retold. Kazonomics, they can't erase. Legacy carved in the data space. Try to block me, I broke the chain. Winners here, but I own the game. Came from the shadows, ledger in my hand. Blockchain profit, they don't understand. Numbers like hieroglyphs, I wrote the scroll. They try to burn it, but I mind my soul. Winternomics, frostbitten and cold. Every coin flip, the story unfolds. Through my games, try to lock my name, but I coded the keys to the Hall of Fame. Kazonomics, they can't erase. Legacy carved in the data space. Try to block me, I broke the chain. Winners here, but I own the game. Attack from all sides, wolves in the mist. Turn to a dragon, scales glinting with risk. Algorithm assassin, trades cut deep. Why they slept on me, I never did sleep. They took my stash, tried to hack my mind, but the block stayed solid, can't rewind time. Made it happen, from ashes to gold. Phoenix on the ledger, story retold. Kazonomics, they can't erase. Legacy carved in the data space. Try to block me, I broke the chain. Winners here, but I own the game. Came from the shadows, ledger in my hand. Blockchain profit, they don't understand. Numbers like hieroglyphs, I wrote the scroll. They try to burn it, but I mind my soul. Winternomics, frostbitten and cold. Every coin flip, the story unfolds. Through my games, try to lock my name, but I coded the keys to the Hall of Fame. Kazonomics, they can't erase. Legacy carved in the data space. Try to block me, I broke the chain. Winners here, but I own the game. Attack from all sides, wolves in the mist. Turn to a dragon, scales glinting with risk. Algorithm assassin, trades cut deep. Why they slept on me, I never did sleep. They took my stash, tried to hack my mind, but the block stayed solid, can't rewind time. Made it happen, from ashes to gold. Phoenix on the ledger, story retold. Kazonomics, they can't erase. Legacy carved in the data space. Try to block me, I broke the chain. Winners here, but I own the game.